First off, I want to apologize for the recent hiatus I took in making videos. We were making business moves. Not really, but I was out of town. I couldn't record, so I'm sorry for that. But we're coming right back into the fold, talking about Top Shot. So before I keep ranting and raving about absolutely nothing, let's hit the intro and get straight to it. All right, so today we're talking about rookies and why I think right now they're one of the biggest traps in NBA Top Shot. Listen, I'm not saying that Zion's a trap. I'm not saying that Ja is a trap. I'm not saying LaMelo Ball is a trap. I'm saying the collective is a fucking trap house that's jumping like Jordan. I went through and I counted the first moment common rookies that are on Top Shot. Not four badges, just their debut common moments. 63 of those motherfuckers. There's only been two rookie classes that have been on Top Shot because it's only been around for 2 years. Each year, 60 players are drafted. So almost half of the drafted players, and I know some guys go undrafted, so whatever, but there have been 120 picks over the past 2 years, and there are 63 common rookie moments. That doesn't even take into account a guy like Facundo Campazzo, who his first moment was a rare. So what I'm just basically telling you is the market for rookies isn't as scarce as you may think. You may be like, oh shit, we got a rookie moment. This is going to be dope in 15 years. Guess what else is going to happen in 15 years? There's going to be 15 more rookie classes. And if we look at what this rookie class is, or what these last two have been, I can confidently say that the 2019 and 2020 rookie classes have easily been the two worst rookie classes we have seen in the last 5 years. And you can say, oh, but Zion Williamson just got his own shoe. He's about to be the face of the NBA. Sure, maybe the top of the draft was better than the top of other drafts. But even then, I'd argue, other than 2016, 2017, and 2018 have a shot at competing for who the best player was at the top of the draft. And just aside from Zion, the depth really isn't there. So we can go through 2019 and who I think the best rookies were from that class, and the only ones that I think have any type of legitimate value. We got Zion Williamson, who obviously is like a top 10 player in the NBA right now, maybe top 15 if you want to be a little ruthless. But if you're taking into account upside and youth, he's easily top 10, maybe top five. So I'll give you that. He's been awesome. But then you got John Morant, who, in my opinion, maybe a little bit overrated. He's a very good dunker, but he's not a refined enough point guard, can't shoot as well as people would like him to. So he's good as well. He's nowhere near a lot of the other guys I'm about to mention. And then we also have RJ Barrett, who, whatever, extremely inconsistent. I'm not a massive fan of him. Outside of that, the 2019 class wasn't that fantastic. And the only picks that truly hit in a big way were the first, second, and third picks. We go to this year, right? 2020. The only players that look to have a ton of promise, and I don't want to write off anybody yet, like James Wiseman. Kid's like 19 years old, hasn't played basketball in basically 2 years to this point. So I'm not going to say he's done, but if we want to look at who's actually made improvements throughout the season this year and who's going to be good going forward, in my opinion, it's like LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards. Halliburton is great, but he's great relative to the class he's in. When guys like Killian Hayes and Tyrese Maxey and like all these other frauds or players that you're being compared against, sure, you're going to look good putting up 13, 3, and 3 in Sacramento. But at the end of the day, you're in Sacramento. And aside from shooting the three ball, which a lot of people can do nowadays, there's really nothing generational or special to his game. And you might say, hey, that's unfair to say he's not generational, so he's not good. But if we're comparing that rookie class to ones of the recent history, look, 2018 had Luka Doncic, who is a top 10 player in the NBA right now. They also had Trey Young, who, hate him or love him, the guy put up fucking 29 and 10 as a second year player in the NBA. We also got Colin Youngbull Sexton putting up like 25 a game. Shea Gilgis Alexander also putting up very similar numbers to a guy like Trey Young. We got Miles Bridges, who's breaking out. And we also don't forget, although he is on Top Shot as a rookie from 2019, he was drafted in 2018. Michael Porter Jr., who is incredible. If Jokic wasn't there, he'd be averaging like 28 points a game. If Jamal Murray wasn't in the fold, which he hasn't been recently, he'd be doing what he has been doing, and that's like 25 plus points a game. Incredible three-point shooter. The 2018 class, when you look back at it, was awesome. We also look at 2017, right? They had Jason Tatum at the top. They had De'Aaron Fox. They had Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo, John Collins, OG Anunoby. I know OG Anunoby and John Collins aren't great, but they're a lot better than what we've seen in 2020 outside the top two or three guys. And the same goes for 2019. 2017, although not talked about as highly as 2018, has guys like De'Aaron Fox who are putting up 25 and 7 a game. A guy like Donovan Mitchell, who he's been out lately, but he was leading his team to the first seed in the West. We have Jason Tatum, who looks to be a future MVP candidate. 2016 as well. Jaylen Brown, Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Jamal Murray, Domantas Sabonis, Karis LeVert, Pascal Siakam, DeJounte Murray. There have been so many great players picked over the past 5 years, and a lot of them weren't picked in years that Top Shot was in circulation. And that worries me a little bit because all we've seen to this point is mediocrity. And they're being priced at points where I don't think that they deserve to be at, like fucking like a Dylan Windler or an Isaac Okoro or a Devin Vassell. Sure, they could be good at their specific things, whether it's shooting threes, whether it's 3-and-D, whether it's defense when we're talking Okoro. But when you look at what these upcoming rookie classes are going to be like, which tomorrow's video, I'm going to cover a little bit of what 2021 looks to be. I think 2019 and 2020 pale in comparison not only to the recent history of draft classes, but also pale in comparison into what we're expected to see next year after, and the year after that. So what I would say is, aside from maybe LaMelo Ball, Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, Michael Porter Jr., I'm really not interested. And I guess you can put Anthony Edwards in there because he's like a top shot type of player because he's so freakishly athletic. But aside from that, I'm really not too high on a lot of these rookies. I know I hyped up Sadiq Bey, but he's like $20. So I understand that. The worst that happens is you lose like $19. The rest of these guys, like even a Cole Anthony, James Wiseman, you name it, like they're priced so highly because they have that extra badge. When if you really believe in Top Shot for the long term and you're investing in rookies because you believe in it long term, you're not buying a LaMelo Ball to sell him 2 months down the line, even though that's what I did. You are buying a LaMelo Ball because you're hoping 5 years down the line he's on an all NBA first team, MVP talks, shit like that. So if you believe in Top Shot for the long haul, then you also have to say, well, if I'm in here for the long haul, that means a ton more rookies. At this point, looks like over 30 a year are going to be minted in 5 years. That's 150 more players with a rookie badge, and that badge is no longer as scarce as we once thought. On top of the fact that run it back promos feature rookies. So there's probably going to be, by that time, at least like 250 rookies on the platform. And the shitty ones, like the names I mentioned before, no shade on them, but I just don't see them carrying too much value. That's all we got for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this reality check didn't hit you in the chin too hard. I had to wake up and realize guys like Rui Hachimura and Facundo Campazzo and all these other idiots may not be as good as I thought that they would be for Top Shot just because they have a rookie badge next to their name. If you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment as to what you want to see going forward because honestly, right now, between now and the playoffs, it's kind of dry for basketball. People like just aren't playing, and the players that are playing don't really give a fuck until they make the playoffs. So if there's any type of content you want to see, just let me know and I'll maybe heed your request. But that's it for today. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
10 old Chatham's on. Foolies glad I'm home. Even my haters kinda glad I'm on. Rest in peace to my vagabond. Rapper, song, singer, suspended, subpoenaed for misdemeanors. Dreamer, held back asses, Loki still a G. And I still shake a boat squad. Ran for my broke got city on the come up. Shot that nigga Sosa. Shot my nigga Fat Trail. Shot my nigga Joseph. Playing Buenos Aires while they sleep in Buenos Noches. Wonder if I wrote this. 'Cause it's